Hello, everybody. I miss you. A long time. Okay, listen, it is Bastille Day, so first of all, vive la France. Everything is very nice in France. I hope you have some pastis. You have some pastis today. You have to drink pastis. Very little water, mostly pastis. Get very good drunk. Hey.
Hey, dads.
Hey, dads. Welcome to Dad Club.
Hey,
I'm Jay.
Hey, Dad. I'm Greg.
We meet here every single week to talk about being a dad, to vent and breathe and brag and figure out how to do this thing called being a dad. If you're a dad, you are already in the club. Let's start with the question of the week, as we always do for the last 2 weeks. This week's question comes from none of you, because none of you emailed me after Greg and I asked you very nicely to send us an email at hi@dad-club.com. I didn't get one email from you. I got a lot of TikTok notifications because we went viral. More on that later. But today's question comes from something that we saw on the internet. I don't know about you, Greg. I have a few friends who have recently joined the Dad Club. And, you know, one of the big questions that they had for me was, what do they bring to the hospital before the birth? So this question is about that. What should you bring when the madness is about to start?
Yeah. So, I mean, the key is having a go bag. You need a go bag. So don't wait until the madness starts to get things together, because then you will not be able to bring anything. So that's my first, my first take on this is pack a bag, get it together, have it by the front door or wherever you need to have something so that you don't forget it when you rush out. Because who knows what's going to happen, right? It might happen very suddenly, or, maybe you have it planned. Like my wife and I had a induction appointment. We calmly drove to the hospital at a predetermined time, and that's how we did it. But other people, it's a little bit more abrupt.
Robin would not let me pack a bag. She was like so against having stuff ready to go across the board.
Wait.
And this is a little bit like, there's a Jewish tradition that like you don't want to jinx anything, so you don't get stuff ahead of time. So it was like
superstitious reason.
Late December. I know the packing the bag was more just like she was like, I'm gonna be fine. But the room, Sadie's room, had like nothing in it until like she was due in January, and then in late December I had like a panic attack, and I was like, we don't even own like a single bottle. Like I need to order some shit. But we didn't pack a bag because Robin just kept being like, I got this. Like, don't worry about it. Eventually, I did pack a bag and didn't tell her about it. I didn't want to piss her off, but I did pack some stuff. So what was in your bag when you guys were getting ready to go?
So, all the normal things that you would need on a trip, some of the essentials like your toiletries, phone charger, stuff like that. That's like pretty run of the mill. Like anytime you're potentially going to stay somewhere for a couple days, like going away for the weekend, that stuff is key. Don't forget those things. But then the rest of it was kind of like, how do we create the right vibe in the, sterile hospital room? So like
birthing vibes.
Yeah, I brought a Sonos Move that could have probably powered the entire hospital floor. Like that's an aggressive
speaker for a hospital room.
Yeah, but that was like
those little. I
know, but I didn't want
a JBL that was the size of my palm.
I know. I definitely could have, but I didn't want to buy something just for this. That seemed excessive.
Sure.
And so I brought the really big speaker that was very excessive. Set that up in the room. We also brought one of the things that I think was I forget who it was that told us about this, but we brought a light fixture, like a small, like portable USB powered light that could go and create a really nice, like calm mood inside of the hospital room, because those lights can be pretty abrasive, right? And I think we wanted to create like a really nice environment in there that felt comfortable and felt a little bit more homey. So yeah, like this really little light that my parents got us, we brought. And And it's a great light. We still use it now. Like if we eat outside at night, we can just bring that out. You just tap it on and it's got this nice
I'm just like
soft glow.
picturing Sadie's sound machine that also has like a really nice glow. You just like pre-buy the sound machine, bring it to the hospital. And you might as well, then you two birds, one stone.
Shout out Hatch. We could have just brought a Hatch, you know?
If you just brought your Hatch, you didn't know yet. What you would later learn is that the Hatch just does that for you.
Although, hand up, we did own a Hatch for adults first, long before the baby came. So
Hatch for Adults Club, smaller membership group.
Smaller membership group, but once you start, it's really hard to not have it. Yeah, and then this wasn't for work, but brought my laptop so that we could watch Netflix because, you know, you're sitting around for a while and, you know, the TV that is provided, you don't really just want to watch like reruns of Friends the whole time. And so
also the thing that's weird about the TV in the hospital room is that I don't know if this happened for you guys, but the speaker is in the remote control.
Oh, so that's like every hospital room.
It doesn't actually have like any sort of real speaker. It like plays out of the remote. So the speaker is absolutely god awful. We watched a Knick game while we were in the hospital. Sadie was 7 hours old and we were watching the Knick game and it was playing out of the remote control. And I was like, this is awful. Like, let's just fire up the laptop. So laptop crucial.
For sure. Yeah. Every hospital room, whether it's a birthing room or something else is going to have the volume for the TV come out of the remote. It's so that you don't have a bunch of TVs blaring full blast across the halls.
It makes sense, but it's not a good television experience if that's what you're
at
the hospital for.
Yeah. So instead, just snuggle up with a laptop and some Netflix.
Bring your entire Sonos soundbar and set it up.
We basically had full surround sound and theater lighting. And that brings us to the next point, which is snacks and candy. So we okay, this is actually a funny story. So you know the Tdap?
Sure, of course. Everybody needs to get a Tdap before they have a baby.
Yeah. This is not a physical thing that you bring, but it is something that all men, the non-birthing parent, must remember to do is bring their fully Tdapped selves to the hospital in the morning. I didn't do that. I was told many times, get the Tdap. I just forgot. And so I showed up at the at the hospital and I wasn't Tdapped up. And luckily there was a Walgreens. You got to get Tdapped up.
I'm surprised that the nurse didn't just bring it in and do it to you there.
Well, yeah, I don't know if they keep it on hand. I think this was pretty rare that maybe they should keep it on hand.
I think,
but no, so at 6 a.m. or 6:30, after very quickly after they settled us into the room, I ran 3 blocks away to the nearest Walgreens. I got myself Tdapped up, and then I came back with Coca-Cola and popcorn and sour candy, which is Emily's favorite. I just got all types of sour candy and I just outfitted our little room with all the snacks. Very much, I know I already mentioned like home theater, like it felt like a movie theater in terms of like the lighting, and we had the sound system and all the snacks and sodas.
I have to ask you a question about this. Was Emily pissed that you like took her to the hospital and then you had to leave?
Oh yeah. This was we can joke about this now, but I do not recommend.
I can't imagine.
I do not recommend waiting until after you get to the hospital to run out and do this.
You had to buy all those snacks because you were like in the absolute doghouse. There was no coming back from that. You're like, honey, I got Raisinets, and she's like, I don't care.
Well, it was a very we can laugh about it now, but I will say it's what taught me that snacks and candy is actually a really good thing to bring to the hospital, because we wouldn't have brought that stuff before. And then it ended up coming in a ton of handy because throughout the process, it was really good to have. So those are the items that you wouldn't expect to be really important, but really. And then, bring your change of clothes. We talked about dad pad on a previous episode. Definitely bring a dad pad, something to sleep on. You're probably going to have to figure out a way to get a couple Z's, even though what I will say is that the adrenaline is pumping so heavy during this whole process for the most part that it's hard to sleep, and you don't even really need that much sleep during this time to like be alert and be awake and be super invested.
I agree. One really nice touch that I was told by another dad friend is to bring a couple of Starbucks gift cards for the nurses, or hey, go pick one up when you do your morning Starbucks walk. Like, that's the only time you're getting out of the hospital is like between 9 and 10 a.m. and the baby's asleep, and you're like, can I get you a coffee, babe? And she's like, yeah. And you like go walk to Starbucks. For me, it was a couple blocks away. It was freezing fucking cold outside, but it didn't matter. Those morning walks to Starbucks, I have such fond memories of just like looking at my life and thinking about how now it was a completely different place. Anyway, grab a couple Starbucks gift cards with your venti black eyes or whatever you need to get to stay awake. It's very nice in France.
That's brilliant. I love that.
Yeah, because you want to take care of the nurses, like they are everything to you for those first 2 days. They know everything. You know nothing. They come in and swallow your baby like a ninja and try to teach you. And they're so patient and so kind. And we had such great nurses and such a great experience. So like throwing them a $25 Starbucks, they were very appreciative. Bring the longest corded phone charger you have and bring like 3 of them. Like, I can't tell you the number of times my wife was like, my phone is dead. Can you plug in my phone? Where is my phone? Like, you're like in this room. And honestly, the rooms, even if the rooms are small, like the outlets for some reason are like in the crevice in the front of the room that's 100 feet away from everywhere that you are. A lot of phone chargers, longest cable you have. Drinks. Bring drinks for the birthing process. Like, they'll give you ice chips, but like, before, if she doesn't get an epidural or before the epidural, like Robin was drinking orange juice, I think. She was drinking like seltzers, like coconut water. That's the sort of stuff that you want to have. Also, like, you just kind of want to have stuff that you would want because you don't think about what it's like to spend 24 hours a day in a room for 3 days in a row until you are doing it. And you're like, oh, I'm not leaving this room. And I wish I had some of these things. The last piece of advice I will have before we move on: don't invite your parents to the hospital the moment the baby is born. This was our biggest mistake. And I love my parents and I'm so glad they came. But I was so excited. It was, first of all, it was a little harrowing. I've talked a little bit about this before, but we had kind of an emergency C-section. And so it all happened really quickly. And then as soon as it was over, I texted everyone on the group chat and was like, she's born. Like, if you guys want to come, you can come now. It was like 10:30 at night. 2 things were the problem. 1, we didn't have a room, and they ended up not having a room for us for a full day. And 2, in the recovery rooms, guests are not allowed. So now I have 3 parents waiting downstairs trying to come up and see the baby. The hospital staff is like, no, you can't go. Like, everybody's getting in a fight with the administrator, and you're trying to spend the first hour of your child's life with them. Like, don't do what I did. Wait until the next morning. You can send a text and say everybody's healthy and good. Like, mom feels good, baby's good. Do that. That's fine. Send photos. Nobody can come visit until the next day when you're like settled in the room and you start to feel like you're ready for visitors. Do not invite people right away. If you have a question for Dad Club, I'm talking to you, literally every single one of our listeners, because none of you did this. Email us at hi. You're here.
I know you're out there.
There's 20 to 30 of you. Hi at dad-club.com. We will read those emails and we will respond to them here on the show. Let's get into it, bud. Little shits.
All right.
Let's talk. Yeah. Let's talk dad stuff. What do you got today?
Yeah. So, our boy Lou, he is actually 11 months as of today, as this is being recorded on the 14th.
Happy 11 months.
So he's 11 months, and that means that we're just a month away from his first birthday. And so, yeah, we're doing a pretty big trip for his first birthday, because it also happens to be my grandma Shirley's 100th birthday.
Sick.
2 days after his birthday. So they were very close. Like, they were almost like 99 years apart to the day. But they ended up being 2 days apart. So we're flying back to Connecticut. We're gonna do a 101 birthday party. It'll be donation themed. My mom and I are like, she's so excited. She's so creative. My mom, she's a graphic designer, and so she's making like really cute like diner mugs with this like special logo with 2 Dalmatians and
Oh,
like the
that's awesome.
101 and everything. And it's super fun. And it'll be on the East Coast, Jay. So you and Robin and Sadie will have to come
Let's
and all
rock.
of our
Can't
friends.
wait.
And yeah, it'll be great. And we're gonna do it at a beer garden, which is a really great place for a 1 year old, I guess.
Yeah,
which
maybe.
which look, this is great from this one is it's for us because we get to go back and spend 2 weeks around this date with my mom and my grandma and my sister and her boyfriend and everything and spend time with the family and be back east, which we don't get to do as often now that we have Lou. So this one is really for the family and just getting together. But I'm talking with Emily now, and we're kind of going back and forth on, do we also do something here in LA for our
Right.
friends? Like, what's the protocol here? Like, will our friends really even care? Who is this for, right? And
Yeah. Yeah.
I just like being with people and like having parties is fun. So like, I guess it's kind of just for me if we were to do it. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, what's your take on the one
Yeah.
year old birthday party?
We didn't really have a birthday party for Sadie. We ended up inviting our friends and or some of our closest friends and our family to our house. And we got her a cake and she wouldn't eat it. And like she cried during the happy birthday song. Now I think she likes cake and she's come around. She like realized that it's amazing. But like we were so excited for her to try this cake. Robin and I were both like, oh my God, it's gonna blow her mind. And then like she was just like, no, get it out of my face. But ultimately, I think it's pretty obvious that the 1 year birthday is mostly for the parents. It's to celebrate, okay, you kept this thing alive. Like,
True.
you made it this far. It's a great milestone. And I think it's worth definitely celebrating that, however you choose to celebrate it. And I'm like you, like, I would throw a party every weekend just to, like, hang with my friends, drink
Yeah.
some nice wine. Like, any occasion where I'm like, oh, I can open this bottle. I'm like, let's roll.
Yes.
I will say I was invited to a different 1 year old's birthday party a couple of weeks after Sadie's. This is my buddy who is a talent manager, and he threw it at this bar in Tribeca. They rented out the bar. We like brought Sadie. It's like a day hang. I'm expecting like a bunch of kids. And by the way, a lot of our friends' kids are older than Sadie. Like we're in the young end of the group. So I've been
Got it.
to a ton of kids' birthday parties, and as they get older, like it very much turns into a like discovery
A
zone.
kids
Here it's
party.
called Space Club. Like it's these
Yeah.
like kids parties, right? Where it's like there's
Yeah.
like bad cheese pizza and like a million juice boxes and spindrifts and like one dad snuck in a 6-pack and you're like, can I get 3 of those?
Yeah.
So I'm used to that vibe.
Yeah.
This 1 year old's birthday party that we went to at this bar in Tribeca was just like a who's who of cool people. Like he represents all these cool talent. So all of those people were there. There was like a full bar that he had rented out. So we bring Sadie in like a cute party dress, like expecting her to like meet all the kids. Sadie was literally the only kid there besides Pippa, whose birthday it was. And so we were like, what do we do with this kid? Like, we can't even put her down. Like, the floor is disgusting. And at that point, Sadie wasn't walking yet. So, like, their hands are on everything. So we're just like literally carting this baby around, like trying to drink a Guinness. It was a really fun party. I think a lot of it is for the gram, like a lot of it's for the photos, a lot of it's to say you did it. And then last of all, it is to say like, hey, we made it this far and memorialize it. So I would say in terms of your question and to the dads listening who are on the fence about having a 1 year old's birthday party, like do it however you want to do it. You're going to take a picture. That'll be the picture. But, and I'm going to get into this a little bit later. We have so many memories of our kids because of our phones and because of like it's so easy to take photos and videos now that you and I never had. And I think that really changes the way that we're going to remember stuff. And so like this 1 year old's birthday party will change. Like there is absolutely not a picture of my first or second birthday party. I think by 3, maybe my dad had like a really shitty camera and has these like home videos of us all around the kitchen table. And you can like hear us singing happy birthday and the camera's shaking. It looks like a Blair Witch Project. But like, that is so different now because we have videos of every single day. And should Sadie and Lou have access to that, they will have all of these moments that are memorialized in that way. There probably will be so much that they won't even ever be able to experience it all. But
yeah. I mean, I'm posting
party.
a TikTok every day right now.
Yeah,
and
no,
not
exactly.
most of them don't have him in it, but a lot of them do. And so yeah, that's a really good point. I do have one artifact from my first birthday party, and
What is it?
it's actually hanging in, Lou's room now. It's a like I was saying, my mom is very crafty. She, was in art school and, she was, an art director for magazines and, so she's super creative and, she made this awesome card. It was, an invite to a first birthday party where she, like, drew a 1 and a FAS on, like, a Mets jersey with blue pinstripes
Oh,
and
cool.
clouds, and it was like, "Come celebrate," and, it's something that we have to this day because my mom was like, "Oh, this is special, like, I'll save this." So I don't have any photos of it to my knowledge. I'm sure she does somewhere, but I have this card that's hanging in Lou's room now,
Well,
which is
there's your
just
answer
ends
is
up
like, you don't actually need the party, just design a sick invite and then you'll have
right.
it forever.
And now we're gonna have these mugs
The
now that I was
mugs,
saying,
yeah, that's
right?
so
With the
cool.
101 Shirley and Lou,
I,
which
like,
like
can't wait for the day that Lou is, like, taking a shot of, like, the shittiest whiskey out of that mug from his college dorm room. Like, he's
or
got the
like
mug, and he's pouring some
yeah.
Popov in there and just, like, trucking it down. All
Yeah.
right, uh, here's my dad stuff this week. We had a great weekend. We were out east. We're back now for a little bit, but, uh my daughter, especially compounded with 2 other kids, like, doesn't sit still for 20 seconds. Like, we try to watch TV. I'm like, "Please watch Bluey." She won't watch it, literally never stopping, flailing, and also the sleeping out there is a little bit more difficult because it's not her room, blah, 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 blah. I got home, and on Monday morning when our nanny got to our house, I had this feeling that was just like it makes you feel a little bit bad as a parent because you're just like, thank God for you. Like, I am so blessed that you are here to come and hang with Sadie because I love her infinity. But I am so tired and I need to like look at my computer
Yeah.
because I really need to do some emails.
Yep. Yep.
And it's this very weird feeling because it's just like, here's this person who is like, it's her job to take care of my daughter for a lot of the time. And, probably, I mean, definitely, Sadie spends more of her time with our nanny than she does with us. But, like, how am I supposed to be a professional and, like, make money and also be a full-time dad? It's impossible. And so, anyway, Teppy, our nanny, came Monday morning, and I was just like, I had this overwhelming feeling. I wrote in the rundown Monday morning when the nanny comes feels like blank because it is like, it's literally like, it's almost like crack. Like, it was just like,
Yeah.
oh, finally.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I don't know how you feel about that.
No, I mean, look, I love so much having Lou and having this higher purpose in life now that's tied to him, right? But there's something so freeing about only having to worry about yourself for a bit,
For
and
like a
I
couple
feel
of
like
hours.
yeah, it's a really, look, the having Lou really puts things in perspective. Like, I don't get as stressed out at work, I feel like, anymore. And
That's
so
awesome.
when our nanny Hilda shows up in the morning and it's like, "Ooh, now I can shower, get ready for the day, and get down to business." And it's like,
Yeah.
I get excited about sitting down and getting on calls and talking to other adults and everything, and working on really fun projects at Liquid Death. So, yeah, it's a really nice feeling, but I also at the same time, like, know what else hits like crack is at the end of the day, 5 PM rolls
Absolutely.
around and, you walk into the room and Lou gets you in his sights and he just instantly starts
Oh,
smiling full, his mouth's open, he's, like, so excited to play, like, that also
it
hits like crack.
is.
So it really does go both ways, and, um, yeah, I mean, look, it's throughout our kids growing up, like they're whether it's now when they are with the nanny or as they get
Going
a
to
little bit
school.
older, they're going to school, like they're gonna have
Yeah.
to become self-sufficient and learn how to, work and hang with other people that aren't just us. That's part of their development. So like, yeah, I don't know. I did also really love Pat leave. Like that was super nice. Life slowed down.
Yeah.
You just
I
all you
didn't
have
get
to
to have one, so I'm
oh
I'm I'm jealous.
yeah.
Yeah, I was say this morning on a Thursday night, I was working on a Monday, but it uh I agree with you 100%. The dopamine of walking in the door for the night, and like you know, you were saying you get less stressed because of the reset that Lou has given you. Now I find myself so much better at coming home at whatever time it is. You know, 5:45, 6:15 tonight. It'll be late because we're burning the midnight oil doing Dad Club, but like coming in and being able to focus on Sadie. I put my phone on the kitchen counter and I don't look at it for an hour to an hour and a half. Sometimes I get 2 hours in the evening to hang with her. Like that was never a part of who I was. You know, I would come home and like continue working, continue thinking about work, and now I get to
Yep.
like spend this time with my daughter. And those first 2 hours of the day and those last 2 hours of the day are like so precious. Sometimes I don't even want to like, you know, part of trying to be a dad and be healthy and do this thing is like, you want to go work out in the morning. You want to go for a run. We talked about this. Like you woke up, you were texting me this morning, like 4 a.m. LA time. You're
Yeah.
like, and I knew you were like ready to go on a run, like so that you could be awake to like hang with Lou in the morning. And I was like,
Yeah.
literally, I was at the gym. It was like 7:30 and you were texting me and I was like, I can't believe this dude is up right now. But anyway.
One other thing I will say, as we talked about last week, Emily and I went to Vegas.
Yeah.
This past weekend, it wasn't, to call it a weekend is an overstatement. We left at like 7 a.m. on Saturday morning and got back at like 2 p.m. on Sunday. So it was like just over 24 hours.
Sure.
But when you come back from Vegas from a trip like that, especially Emily's first time away from Lou for the night, like we did it. Like we packed in a lot in a short amount of time, and we were out until about 3 a.m. in Vegas that
Wow.
night. And
You guys were
we
just
got
hanging
back.
with the chain smokers at Excess?
No, we went to the UFC after party after the Conor McGregor fight that Meek Mill was headlining. So
Oh shit.
yeah, that was after we went to a late night Carbone reservation
Wow.
at 10:15. So
Mom and
yeah,
dad getting after it.
we did it. We did it right. But Emily deserved that, after 11 months of not having like a night to herself like that. It was really fun to do it big. But coming back, I think this is a pro dad move. Is like coming back, we had Emily's cousin and friends there for support with Lou from the moment that we got back. There were like 5 girls there to help with Lou for feeding him dinner, for getting him bathed, all those things. And it really helped take the edge off of like transitioning back into being, a responsible for someone else adult. Yeah, I mean, we were very tired. I was more tired. Emily was doing a lot more than I was.
Yeah.
But that's a pro dad move, is if you have someone babysitting for you guys while you're out, for, a night like that, it's good to have the end of the babysitting time happen. Like give yourself a little grace period where you're home at the same time as the sitter.
Extend the babysitter is what you're saying. Give yourself a 2-day babysit on a 1-day trip.
Give yourself a little buffer. Because if it's Vegas, not all trips require this.
The pro dad move, I think, is just get home after bedtime. You just plan it that way where you can crash.
Shit, we should have done that.
You should have thought of that next time.
Yeah, should have thought of that one next time. Yeah.
Well, I want to hear a little bit about the this UFC match. I'm admittedly not a big UFC guy, but I saw a lot of hype about this. Conor McGregor coming back for the first time, and obviously, I don't know if you guys saw the news, but Conor sustained an injury in the first, 10 or 15 seconds?
Yeah, it was right away. It was the biggest letdown. If you don't know much about UFC, there's about 12 to 15 fights, I think it is, from the prelims all the way through to the main card. So it starts at like 1 p.m. If you really are a huge fan, you're like at the arena at 1 around noon, watching fights all the way up until about 9-ish o'clock when like the final fight, which is the main headliner, will start. So you have like so much buildup here of fights and working up to this main card. And to have that injury happen within 10 seconds and you don't even get really a true end to the fight. Like it'd be one thing if, Conor got knocked out in 10 seconds. I think people would feel totally different about this thing, but you were cheated out of a true result. The the feeling in the arena was weird after that. It
I
was
would
very
bet. I
weird.
would bet. What time was the Carbone reservation after the UFC? Like, did you have a 10 o'clock reservation already dialed in?
Yeah, so that was one of the benefits of this happening was there was 2 fights, so the Connor fight and then also, Paddy Pimblett, Paddy the Baddy, he submitted his opponent in the first round very quickly as well. So, like, the last 2 fights took a very short amount of time. We had made reservations in advance, 10:15, which is the last reservation you can make at Carbone in Vegas because they close the kitchen at 11. So
Wow.
I was really nervous that, like, hey, if these went into like 3 rounds or in the Connor fight, it can go up to 5 rounds because it's the main headliner.
Yeah.
Um, I was really nervous that like we might just miss this reservation and then we would have to eat something else and we
Anything
would
else, which there's
yeah, I mean, there's lots of
infinity
food and
things
I
in
mean, there's
Vegas.
infinity in Vegas, but like it was our one night and I wanted to like have a
Yeah, of course.
proper
You wanted to go
nice
to
dinner,
Carbone. Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, we actually had enough time with when it ended to we were there as like guests of the UFC. And so they actually brought us down. We got to go on the ring, see the blood on the mat up close,
Holy
which is always
shit.
cool. Got to talk to Bruce Buffer for a little bit, complimented him on his jacket. Very nice guy. And then yeah, we walked slowly over to Carbone and sat down, ordered a nice Barolo, some pasta. It was my first time going to Carbone. I'd
Oh,
never
you
been.
had the spicy rigatoni? Gotta get
Yeah,
the spicy rig.
we had to get that. It was a scene because Vegas was, there was summer league going on. I know I've been
Yeah.
texting you Tyler
Yeah,
Nickel highlights all
that's
day.
our guy.
There was summer league going
Tale of
on.
two Tylers.
Yeah, the World Cup was happening, right? So
Right.
like there were fans that came in from Europe and all over the world that had like gone to their different matches across the country and then were like spending the weekend in Vegas, right? They're
Crazy.
all watching the World
Crazy.
Cup. And then you have all of the NBA in town basically. So there's 6'7" dudes walking around everywhere you go, and everyone is someone. And then you've got this Conor McGregor fight, so it was an electric atmosphere in Vegas. Everywhere you went, you saw celebrities or athletes, or it was a really really cool experience.
Nice.
And yeah, look, I think Vegas makes people feel some type of way. I think you just got to know how to do it, and if you know where to go and the restaurants to go to and how to plan the night, it's such a fun place to be
Oh,
for a
it's unbelievable.
one night
One of my
place.
favorite
Yeah.
places in the world.
Yeah.
One night is, I think, enough. Okay, I want to talk about one other dad sport. Still World Cup. 2 things on the World Cup. First thing, most of Europe hates us now.
Yeah.
And by us, I mean Dad Club.
This podcast.
This podcast specifically.
These 2 humans.
If you're an avid listener, if you were listening last week, you heard us do a draft for how the U.S. men's national team could win the World Cup in 2030, and we suggested that was by fielding Americans who are great at other sports. Obviously, we were kind of kidding, guys. You guys were in on the joke. You understood. But I posted this clip of us talking about that and suggesting that LeBron should play striker because he's the best American athlete of all time. It was found by European troll Twitter, and we got, I want to say, thousands of comments over the weekend just disparaging us for our lack of intellect. How did it make you feel?
I thought it was so funny. I thought it was so funny. I don't know what like subreddit this video that we posted got thrown into that
I don't either.
Organized this crew who like what I really loved about it is like when something like that happens and there's a lot of negative comments, it will also just show it to a ton of more people, right? Because it's like, oh,
Right.
this post is getting engaged with. That will usually lead to likes as well, right?
Yeah.
But we were getting way more comments.
I think we got like 10
likes.
likes. I think we got like 10 likes. We got ratioed so hard it was insane.
Which these one thing I know about the internet and social media is that like, the people who are commenting like this are so sad and lonely for the most part, that when you're able to strike a nerve with them through a funny piece of content like what we put out there, which honestly, you say it was a joke. It is a joke that I think
I'm not saying
someone
that
took it
our
seriously,
team wouldn't win the World Cup. I still think that our team would win the World Cup.
I think we would still win. Like,
I was just saying that we put it out in a
joking
lighter-hearted manner.
Yes. It's a thought experiment. And
it was a thought experiment.
A funny thought experiment. But yeah, seeing, when you can rattle people from around the world with just a silly conversation like that, it brought me lots of joy, right? Like Marie Kondo, if it brings you joy, like you can keep it. This brought me joy. I will keep the LeBron and
keeping LeBron at striker. Well, other World Cup news. It's Tuesday afternoon when we're recording this. So France just lost to Spain 2-0. If you know me from old podcasts, or specifically one old podcast that I was on between 2018 and 2020, called Sports with Katie Nolan, you will know that I did this bit called French News of the Week.
I can't wait for this.
If you're not familiar, you're about to get familiar, because I'm going to, as a one-time thing, because it is literally Bastille Day, and France lost 2-0. This is the return of French News of the Week. The way that you have to get into it, Greg, is you say, let's go to Jay with the French News of the Week, doodly-doo. Can you say that for me, please?
All right, and let's go to Jay for the French News of the Week, doodly-doo.
Hello, everybody. I miss you. A long time. Okay, listen, it is Bastille Day, so first of all, vive la France. Everything is very nice in France. I hope you have some pastis. You have some pastis today. You have to drink pastis. Very little water, mostly pastis. Get very good drunk. You need to be drunk because the French football club, they fail. They fail bad. This, I thought, was our time to win. We lost against Argentina last time. Messi is old now. Who is Spain? Who are these young kids? I don't know them. Rodri, good, sure, okay. Aymeric Laporte, traitor. He's not even Spanish, he is French. He played for Spain. 2-0 against Spain? It is disgusting. We lose 2-0 against Spain. France exit World Cup. I think all of us in France are disappointed. And yeah, it has been a very difficult day. I hope you drink a lot of pastis, some wine, maybe a few Armagnac tonight. And I see you again in 4 years. Hopefully we are better then.
Holy fucking shit.
That was our French News of the Week.
That was so much better than I was expecting it to be. And that's in no way a diss. Like, I thought it would be good. It just far exceeded any expectation.
Yeah. I miss doing it. Maybe we'll do it again. Probably not. That was French News of the Week. This is maybe a one-time thing, but thanks for indulging me. Okay, I wanna do some. I'm gonna do a hard pivot, transition from that into our big shit of the week. This is a real topic. So let me just collect myself because I need to get some of that French energy out of my body. I want to talk a little bit about having a second kid, and in a bittersweet but bittersweet kind of way. So Robin and I are thinking about having a second kid. We have one. Robin's an only child. I have a little brother. And Robin's whole thing since even before we had Sadie was like, if we have kids, I want to have two because I was an only child and I really hated growing up solo. I always wanted a sibling. And so that was always sort of our plan. And so now, we're thinking about moving on child number 2. And I have a few fears about it, to be honest with you. One is, I think going from 1 to 2 could feel exponential. And I'm curious your thoughts on this, but obviously going from 0 kids to 1 kid is a complete chemistry altering moment. Like your
Yeah.
whole life changes in a way. It will never be your life again. In a great way, but also like you just will never ever for the rest of your life experience that kind of alone in the worldness. Looking at the parents and polling them and saying what was harder, 0 to 1 or 1 to 2. A lot of them say 1 to 2
Is harder.
is harder
Yeah.
because with one kid you have 2 parents who are able to do stuff. I
You
can
outnumber
give
them.
Robin Sadie for the morning and go do something. Or if I
Yeah.
need to work, she can watch her. Not to say that that can't happen with 2 kids, but it's obviously harder. And as they get into that toddler age, like you will see a lot of parents split. Like, okay, I'm going to take kid A, you're going to take kid B. So I'm really afraid of that. And the other
You're
thing
afraid
I'm
of
really,
you're afraid of them evening the numbers, right?
I don't want to
Like,
play man to man. I'm
no,
very
you're
happy with
playing man to
zone.
man, and yeah,
I'm very
You gotta-
happy with
you-
zone.
you've got a 2-on-1 going right now, right? Like you're in a constant.
And by
like,
the way,
power play.
we've got a 2-on-1 and we're losing. We are losing in the 2-on-1 for the most part. Like it is very difficult at times to keep this kid from like running into a wall or a couch or falling off a chair or whatever it happens to be. Like you need to be on top of your game, and it's a full contact sport.
Yeah.
And so going from 2-on-1 to man to man feels a little terrifying. The other piece of it is I'm sad because I don't think that Sadie will remember. She's too little to remember the time that she spent with just us. Like the short amount of time where we'd have a kid in the next year or whatever, that would have just been the 3 of us. The 2 years, 2.5 years that she would have had. Obviously, we're going to have the photos and videos, as I was talking about earlier. Like, and I do think that's really nice and special. But we have such a good thing. And to think about adding another one, like obviously it's all love, and I'm so excited at the prospect of that. This is a total aside, but we watched this Netflix show called I Will Find You, Harlan Coben's I Will Find You. It's like
I haven't seen.
bad mystery in the best way, just like a complete blow through 8 episodes mystery show. About a dad who's wrongfully imprisoned for killing his son. It turns out the son's death was faked.
Oh, I did see it. I did see that.
Did you watch it, or you just saw
Yeah,
the
I
preview?
did. No, I actually watched it.
You watched
It was
the whole
that
show and you forgot about it?
It was that forgettable. Yeah.
Anyway, at the spoiler alert, at the end of the show, he finds his kid, obviously, and I started crying. And Robin was like, "What is it?" And I was like, "I just was thinking about how crazy it would be to have a boy, because it was all about this like father-son relationship." And so I'm really excited about the prospect of that. I think for a lot of reasons, and because of our situation, it would be likely that it would be a boy. But I'm also really sad because the 3 of us is such a special thing. And so I don't know. I don't have an answer. I hope that we are going to have the second kid, and I hope that it's easy and smooth and all of those things. But I do think that like it's a little scary and it's a little sad at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, I've never thought about it in that way. Of the, the times of just it being the 3 of you, and your first not remembering those times ever. I think that's not a perspective I've had on it. I think what I've seen in my experience, with friends and in-laws and everything, is that the toddler, they're gonna go through quite the change of being like the center of all the attention
Totally.
that, from both of you guys, to all of a sudden like there being a new player in town that's, needs a lot more
Yeah.
initial
Oh, yeah.
like everything. And I've seen like there's obviously a lot of love there, but then there's also like this weird resentment sort of thing that happens at
Yeah.
first, where like the toddler needs to like figure out how to not be the center of attention, right? And I think as they grow older, they are in more like, group environments, and like that kind of stuff hopefully can be built and everything. But at these early stages where it's still so much, is at home, you kind of like need to convince your toddler that this baby isn't like ruining their life. you
Sure.
know
And I do think it's
um
easier with a younger kid, by the way. Like I have a friend
yeah.
who had a second kid when her daughter was almost 5 or she was 4, and like she was like very potty trained and then like literally didn't poop for 6 months in a toilet because she was like so upset by the new baby. And
Mm.
like it's like that's insane,
Yeah, I
but
I
like it
believe it.
totally makes sense.
I believe it. I mean, what about when you have your first, it's like we were talking about it at the first birthday party, right? It's like, congratulations, we kept the kid alive. Like there's so much stress around just like the basic aspects of parenting where it's like, okay, like how are we going to make sure that we keep this kid alive? And it's so stressful because you're doing it all for the first time. And then like the second kid gets a much more confident
Yo,
parent,
yeah.
right? Like
Yeah. The people
you
I
will
know who
be
have 3 or
outnumbered.
4, they're just like, "Oh, what like, whatever. That thing's gonna be
Yeah.
fine. They're gonna
Yeah,
live."
like you're man to man at that point, but you understand the game more like a veteran, right? And you can figure out how to there's a lot less unknowns. Now there's so many, it's so much harder, right? And like, is the toddler gonna wake up the newborn in times when you don't want that to happen? Like there's so much more being sleep deprived and also having to manage a toddler who has like so much energy and is bouncing off the walls. Like there's so much like that part I think really scares me. Probably
Totally.
scares you a little bit too. But but yeah, I mean, at least
Yeah.
you will be a much cooler parent at the time because you've done it now once, right? And it's more second nature for you at times, like all these other
Oh,
pieces.
definitely. A lot of those initial anxieties and fears are kind of not that they won't resurface, but they're not gonna be as strong as they were in those early stages where you're like Googling, "Is it okay if my kid eats one tiny nibble of this thing that they're not supposed to have?" Or whatever it is. Um, I think you did something there that I just want to call out as another pro dad move, and that's making everything a sports metaphor.
Oh, 100%.
um, and uh, and you made it a great sports metaphor by saying like essentially we're coming back, probably not as veterans. I wouldn't give us that just yet, but like we're definitely coming in. It's not our rookie season anymore, and
Yeah, no,
so we
you've
know
had
how to handle the league a little bit. We've watched the game get played. We've been in the game, so now we know how to do it. And I'm not as afraid of the baby stuff. I think for a lot of reasons. And also, I was so excited for Sadie to start crawling and then start walking. And I think with the second one, I'm going to be like, bro, take your time. You know what I mean? For the first 6 or 7 months, like it's going to be kind of chill. You'll be cool. We're going to put you in the bouncer. You're going to smile and giggle and we'll change some types. So
yeah.
that's my big shit. I think, no resolution outside of like, I am excited about it. But I also think it's important to note that it's scary. And it's not without its share of things to really kind of consider before you
Yeah.
pull the
Look, I
trigger.
think the last thing I'll say about like your first point of you've got all of your focus on one, I think as soon as that second, I mean, and I know like this is something that can be rare for a lot of people. It's like that instant bond and connection. I think it can happen, over a certain period of time, but over that period of time, I think it's like parents that I've talked to with too, it's like they still love and care for their first the same. It's like their heart like actually like expands a bit to
Yeah.
have the capacity to do it with two individuals, right? It's not
Yeah.
it's not an either or type of thing, right? And um I have not gone through it. But maybe something to keep in mind as you navigate it.
Um, okay, I want to do one last thing before we say goodbye to everybody. This is from the internet. Matthew212 on r/Daddit, which is a great Reddit community if you are a Reddit person. He asked if there was a Dad Olympics, what would the events be? I thought this was such a good Reddit post that I brought it
So
here to
good.
the Dad Club. The Dad Olympics brought to you by Dad Club. These are the official events. This is the event roster. Kick it off.
It's this is a UFC adjacent, but the diaper change combat I think is key. That's a really solid first event.
Yeah, you're getting kicked, and
Yeah.
you have to change a diaper.
It's the ground game, it's
the ground
grappling
game.
and ground game.
And I think this is a speed-based event as well. I think it's like
Oh, definitely, yeah.
not only is there a combat element, but ultimately you're trying to do this as fast as possible. The next event at the Dad Olympics will be catching kids from falling off things from various distances and heights. This is a multi-tiered category. This is like when you watch the swimming and there's like 55 medals for like what seems like one thing. That's catching kids from falling off things from various distances and heights. We're talking about 5 yard, 10 yard, 25 yard. We're also talking about a 2 feet, 5 feet, 10 feet, 20 feet. There is all sorts of variations of this event, really unlimited. And can you be the dad that catches the kid?
Yeah, well, there's going to be specialists at each level, at each distance.
Of course, you need a big dad to catch the high stuff, and you need a quick dad to catch the far stuff.
And then you're going to do the team medley like relay, right?
Team medley, love it.
Yeah.
Multiple kids falling.
Multiple kids falling, different distances. It's like, you got to make sure. Yeah, it's just like in swimming. Yeah, the next one similar to that is the kid shoulder carry. This is a distance based event. This falls endurance. In the track and field endurance sort of level. 1 mile, 2 mile, 10 mile. I think you can add the half marathon potentially.
That's
maybe
there's a big event. The half maybe there's with someone on your shoulders.
Maybe there's the shoulder carry triathlon. We'll see how that goes. Ooh. Maybe it's sponsored by one of the baby carrier companies that I'm blanking on.
Ooh,
what
the Art of
really
Poppy.
fashion? The Art of Pop. Yeah, this is sponsored by Art of Pop. Is the the baby triathlon? All right, what's the next one?
Building things without watching YouTube how-to videos is the next event. This is a classic dad event. Here's the thing. I'm never going to follow the instructions. I don't care if they're right in front of me. You might as well throw them out. Give me something to build. I will love to build it, but I am never going to look at the instructions. That is not my bag. That's the next event.
I'm going to go with one that's top of my list here. It's the Baby Brezza speed unload. And this is one that I've actually not to promote my own content channel. Dad's Got a Dad on TikTok and Instagram. Go follow. It's something I've actually done. I've timed myself unloading the Baby Brezza, and I will say this is more specific to very young baby dads because
0 to 1.
Yeah, because obviously you move to solids and this becomes obsolete, but it is really fun. Time yourself. It's a blast. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with another non-child based event. This is a very difficult event. It's finding your wife's phone. It's a very important skill as a dad because you will be on your way out the door, everything loaded up into the stroller, and the thing you will not have is absolutely going to be your wife's phone. So how can you find your wife's phone the fastest? Is the next event in the Dad Olympics. Let's do 2 more.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna go with an opposite event from the catching kids. It's the baby high toss. So this is the closest thing would be
event.
The closest thing to this one would be in like the NFL combine. You've got the high jump. We're just This is the dad event where there's going to be 2 divisions. There's the division where the mom is watching, and then there's division where it's the dad on his own with the baby. And obviously the heights of that second division are going to be much higher, right?
Much higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great event. All right, our final event at the Dad Olympics is obviously going to be the sleeping child transfer. This is going to have multiple skill levels at multiple ages, but can you move your child from a stroller seamlessly into a bed without them waking up? It's the age-old question. The answer is almost never. But for the dads who are pros at this, they deserve the gold. Yeah. All right. That's it for this week's meeting.
come listen to our next meeting next week, and
yeah,
we'll make sure to circle back on some of these key topics.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Please make sure to tell all of your dad friends to sound the alarm, and your mom friends, and your other friends. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Greg's at Dad's Got a Dad. I'm the Wolf, and on our YouTube channel and Spotify. Welcome to Dad Club. We'll see you back here next week.
Go Dads!
Go Dads!
Go Dads! Thank you. Bye.
Bye.